Residential property crimes, illegal self-help evictions. There are several types of residential property crimes that take place in Philadelphia. In every case, vulnerable citizens are victimized. However, sometimes it can be difficult to determine who the parties are and what is taking place. This video will go over how to identify and respond to illegal self-help evictions. Imagine a landlord forcing you out of your home with no warning and nowhere to go. You may not have a change of clothes, food to eat, important documents for your family members, or medications that you rely on. The law in Philadelphia prohibits landlords from forcibly evicting or threatening to evict tenants without a court order. This is known as an illegal or self-help eviction. A landlord is someone who rents out a residential property based on an oral or written agreement. A tenant is any legal occupant of the landlord's property. There does not need to be a signed lease or periodic rent payments. That means a tenant with an oral agreement to maintain a property in exchange for residency is just as protected under the law as someone who signed a lease and pays rent. Occupants of properties recently sold at sheriff's sale are also protected from illegal evictions. Philadelphia police officers are the first and only line of defense for people who are uprooted from their homes due to an illegal or self-help eviction. Officers at the scene of an illegal eviction play a crucial role in preventing sudden homelessness for Philly residents and ensuring accountability for landlords who try and circumvent the legal process. Common forms of illegal or self-help eviction include changing locks or blocking access to the dwelling in any way, removing doors or windows from a rental property, turning off utilities like gas, water, or electric service, removing personal property without consent. Doing any of these things or even threatening to do any of these things without a court order is a violation of Philadelphia Code 9/1600, Prohibition against self-help eviction practices. Sometimes landlords will commit or threaten to commit other crimes, such as assault or theft, in order to pressure tenants into leaving. The police department's swift involvement and attention when a tenant reports an illegal eviction can help prevent escalation and further harm. The Philadelphia Police Department relies on Directive 3.17 to respond to illegal evictions. The first step in any response to a dispute involving residential property is to determine the identities of the people involved and if a landlord-tenant relationship can be established. Things that can help determine a landlord-tenant relationship include a written lease, statements of those involved in the dispute, statements of witnesses, especially if not connected to either party, receipts, or utility bills. If only an agent of the landlord or other worker is present, the officer should attempt to summon the actual landlord to the scene. If a landlord-tenant relationship cannot be established, further investigation is required. Each party should get a tenant referral notice. This notice explains what an illegal self-help eviction is and what to expect going forward. Next, the lawfulness of the eviction must be verified. If the eviction is legal, the landlord or their agent will have a copy of the alias writ of possession from municipal court, or a writ of possession from the Court of Common Pleas, which proves that they have a court order for this eviction. If they don't have either of these documents, the eviction is illegal. In this case, the tenant has an immediate right to re-enter the dwelling, and any steps that were taken to block access or habitability should be remedied by the landlord as soon as possible. While officers are not responsible for physically restoring access or habitability to tenants, they should be available for standby assistance. While the tenant is regaining access to their home, the officer will issue a non-traffic summary citation for a violation of Philadelphia Code 9/1605. This is an important step. Although officers are unable to arrest landlords for illegal or self-help evictions alone, citations deter landlords from continuing to circumvent the law and ensure that landlords are accountable for their actions. Officers must then prepare an incident report, 7548, listing all pertinent information, and inform the landlord that they must obtain an alias writ of possession in order to evict tenants. Every day that a tenant is unable to access or live in the rental property is an additional offense. If there are other crimes involved in an illegal eviction, such as assault or theft, officers should also respond to those behaviors in accordance with the law and relevant PPD directives. Additional information about illegal or self-help evictions can be found in Philadelphia Code 9-1605, and further information about the role of the police officer can be found in Philadelphia Police Directive 3.17. Tenants should never be evicted without having an opportunity to defend themselves in court. That's why tenants need to know their rights, and the police need to enforce these rights, so that landlords in Philadelphia respect these rights.